In this recap video, we will be looking at War on Drugs, Isiniwalat, Dela Rosa at Go, Bumwelta, POGO Godfather, Nahuli, at marami pang iba. Comes for me, this is for Joseph and welcome to News and Worthy Recap Weekly Edition number 17. We have tons of comments this last week, so skip the answers provided if it piques your interest. Get the down for the places and latest information. Here are some pictures commentary for your convenience. War on drugs ni Duterte, Inimbestigahan. In an outpouring at incredible turn of events, isa-isa nang lumulutang ang mga testigo laban sa dating Presidente Rodrigo Duterte at ng kanyang bloody war on drugs na kumitil ng iniestimang 6,000 at the lowest end to around 30,000, including extrajudicial killings na naganap sa kanyang tenure as the President of the Philippines. Now, alam naman natin na yung krusada ni dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte laban sa droga, most people actually like it. Most people actually voted for him dahil sa kanyang anti-drug campaign na lumaganap, which won him the presidency noong 2016. And that's kind of the blowback against the establishment, Aquinos, and the liberal parties, and the growing discontent ng mga tao sa pamumuno ni Aquino at ng mga, again, establishment candidates. Although, obviously, dating liberal at dating dilawan si Duterte. He just switched like a few months after the filing of the certificate of candidacy nung placeholder niya with Vice President aspirant Alan Peter Cayetano. You can learn more about it, but I haven't actually. I was like 12 at that point, so I actually like Duterte. I love Duterte in his populist rhetoric of killing the drug users, in 3 to 6 months, patayin kita dyan, or something like that. Ginusto ng tao na makurba ang isyu ng droga sa ating bansa. Bago pa tumakbo si Duterte, sinabi niya ng papatayin niya ang mga drug pusher at user. Tapos malalaman natin, nagfa-fentanyl pala siya. But, that's besides the point. He bragged his city's record of being one of the cleanest in the Philippines, lalo na't balwarte nga ito ng mga Dutertes. Sinasabi niya pa ngang nakapatay na siya ng tao at I think at least 3. In-acknowledge niya rin ang alleged Davao Death Squad o DDS nung siya ang mayor ng Davao via, bragging that there are no drugs in Davao. Well, napalis pa nga niya si dating Senadora Laila de Lima sa kanyang pwesto as the chairperson ng Committee on Justice and Human Rights a few months after Duterte came into power in a wave of populist rhetoric na anti-establishment at anti-poverty. Not anti-poor. I don't know why. But, I wrote in the script na in a wave of populist rhetoric na anti-establishment at anti-poor. Although, it's probably what I do meant. I just didn't care to be. No, nakapagbigay na ako ng history ni Duterte at de Lima from the time she was the Commission on Human Rights chairperson, where she investigated high-profile cases including the Maguindanao Massacre at marami pang iba. She also started an investigation against Duterte's alleged Davao Death Squad, which resulted in her being ousted nga sa kanyang chairpersonship on the Committee on Justice and Human Rights. But that's besides the point. Basically, what happened was, matagal nang magkaaway, matagal nang galit si Duterte kay Laila de Lima dahil nga inimbestigahan niya yung alleged Davao Death Squad sa city ni Duterte. So, parang galit siya at gusto niyang paalisin si de Lima kasi nga masyadong asungot. Malamang sa malamang, hindi niya maangkop, hindi niya makukuha, o hindi niya magagawa yung mga pinaplano niya in cases of anti-drug sentiments na pinagsasabi niya nung siya kumakampanya. Kung merong mga goody-two-shoes katulad ni de Lima na want the due process to be respected, the standard operating procedure na of course constitutionally okay. Now may inalabas na namang basically confirming an open secret regarding alleged bounties at rewards sa pagpatay sa mga sinususpetsahang drug users at pushers. Basically, tier level siya. Kung gano'ng kataas ang threat level, gano'n din kataas ang iyong magiging alleged bounty. One of the star witnesses na nagbigay ng kanilang testimonya ay si retired Police Colonel Garma, implicating the personal knowledge of former President Rodrigo Duterte, Senator re-electionists at dating presidential assistant or something, Bongo at photo bomber, and former PNP Chief Ronald Bato Dela Rosa, and of course, Senator re-electionist din siya.
On May of 2016, I received a call from the then President Rodrigo Duterte at approximately 5 in the morning, instructing me to meet him at his residence in Doña Luisa, Davao City. During our meeting, he requested that I locate a PNP officer or operative who is a member of the Iglesia ni Cristo, indicating that he needed someone capable of implementing the war on drugs on a national scale, replicating the Davao model. The Davao model referred to the system involving payment and rewards. The Davao model involves 3 levels of payments of rewards. The first is the reward if the suspect is killed. Second is the funding of planned operations. Third is the refund of operational expenses. Initially, I informed the President that I was unaware of any individual with those qualifications, as I had not been assigned outside of Davao, nor had I served in a national capacity with the PNP. However, I recalled my upperclassman, Edilberto Leonardo, who was handling the Criminal Investigation Detection Group and was also a member of the Iglesia ni Cristo. I mentioned his name to the President. On the same day, a certain individual named Muking contacted me by the phone to request Leonardo's contact details, which I promptly provided.
Binasa niyang naluluha pa ang isang affidavit corroborating Espanido's allegations na binibigyan niya ng pabuya ang pulisya under Duterte's war on drugs. I must remind you all though that she was in detention before cracking. So parang, maybe it is beaten out of her, or as they say, but I'm not going to float some things na makakapagpasira sa imahe ng House of Representatives, especially the Quadcom, na nag-iimbestiga ngayon sa war on drugs, something that is definitely desperately needed para sa ating mga kababayan. Now, sinabi niyang tinawagan siya personally ni Duterte para i-implement ang war on drugs, instructing her to meet with the President-elect Duterte at 5 in the morning sa Davao, instructing her to find a PNP officer na isa ring INC operative na kakayaning i-implement ang isang Davao-style war on drugs sa buong bansa, to which she obliged. Now, sinabi niya, now, this is a grave accusation considering dinadawit at hina-highlight niya ang religious affiliation ng hinahanap ni Duterte na nag-i-implement ng kanyang war on drugs. But, bakit niya pa kailangan? Ba't niya pa kailangan ng isang miyembro na kasapi ng isang respetadong institusyon? A religious affiliation or a religious organization at that. Now, she alleges na may tatlong leader or may tatlong tier o hakbang ang reward o bounty system sa pulisya, ranging from a few dozen thousands to even 1 million per kill base sa threat level kuno. Now, first is the reward. If the suspect is killed, bibigyan ka ng pera. Second is the funding of the planned operation or co-plans. And the third being the refund ng operational expenses. Basically saying na kapag napatay mo na yung suspect na yun, may reward ka. Pwede kang kumuha ng funding sa gagawin ng pagpatay through co-plans, tapos i-refund pa yung nagastos mo doon sa co-plan para, you can do it all over again. Hindi mauubusan ang budget ng iyong departamento kung patay ka ng patay. So, saan nagagaling yun? Well, a lot of people actually theorize na galing ito sa gagawin or sa confidential at intelligence funds ni Duterte or whatever agency has those confidential funds. Kaya tinitingnan nila ngayon yung confidential fund releases na kanilang pinaggagawa. Nang maalala niyang mayroon siyang upperclassman na si retired police colonel at NAPOLCOM commissioner na nooy may hawak ng CIDG at miyembro ng INC. Nirefer niya ito kay Duterte and the rest was history with the president's alalay Bongo. Kumbaga sabi ni Garma na siya raw ang nagfa-facilitate for a few months ng transaction at ng pag-uusap nila alalay Bongo at again Police Colonel
During our meeting, he requested that I locate a PNP officer or operative who is a member of the Iglesia ni Cristo, indicating that he needed someone capable of implementing the war on drugs on a national scale, replicating the Davao model. The Davao model referred to the shifting system involving payment and rewards. The Davao model involves three levels of payments of rewards. The first is the reward if the suspect is killed. Second is the funding of planned operations. Third is the refund of operational expenses. Initially, I informed the President that I was unaware of any individual with those qualifications as I had not been assigned outside of Davao, nor had I served in a national capacity with the PNP. However, I recalled my upperclassman, Edilberto Leonardo, who was handling the criminal investigation detection group and was also a member of the Iglesia ni Cristo. I mentioned his name to the President. On the same day, a certain individual named Muking contacted me by the phone to request Leonardo's contact details, which I promptly provided.
As you can see, bombshell revelation ang nagiging pang-whistleblow ni dating Police Colonel at PCSO GM Roy Garma, although not really a surprise at this point because as I said earlier, talagang it's an open secret naman na merong reward system sa mga pinapatay ng mga pulisya. We just didn't know the extent to it. Matagal na itong mga ugong-ugong patungkol sa mga reward system ng pulisya sa mga suspected drug user at pusher. We kind of know all of this thing already. And still, and some people actually applauded these killings, one of which is me. Kasi I was a freaking kid at that point. And the populist rhetoric of Duterte and his funny and I don't know what to call it, anti-savvy, but also populist and uh, non-decorum style of talking is something that is a breath of fresh air. Lalo na, uh, lalo na si Aquino ang sinundan niya. Huwag tayong magmamaang-maangan na hindi natin alam ang mga ganitong pangyayari. This is well documented.
Lahat ng SONA 2016 up to 2021, 6 na SONA. Tuwing binabanggit ni dating Pangulong Duterte ang war on drugs, nagpapalakpakan po ang lahat. Standing ovation po ang Kongreso at ang Senado. Dahil ramdam nila na may pagbabago po at tinupad ni dating Pangulong Duterte ang kanyang pinangako noon. Standing ovation. Tapos bakit ngayon sinisisi siya? Bakit ngayon mag-isa na lang siya? Hindi ba kayo nakinabang? Hindi ba nakinabang ang mga kababayan nating Pilipino?
And if anything, the only new information dito is the nitty-gritty, the extent of it. From Duterte contacting the former police colonel asking for a PNP officer na miyembro ng Iglesia ni Cristo to implement a Davao-style reward at bounty system sa mga pinaghihinalaang gumagamit ng ipinagbabawal na gamot. Alam ng sangkatauhan nito, and this will unravel to the days to come. So you better subscribe to the channel, follow my links sa socials, and avoid Joseph, dahil you can't find a channel like this anywhere else. Although, I'm kind of boring. Like, I admit, parang boring itong aking presentation. But, I don't want to exert much effort anyway. Now, one thing sus though is the fact na she maintains na she's innocent. She maintains her innocence and separates herself from the whole charade. Alam niya ang mga galawan at nangyari, ngunit maintains that she did not plan or enforce any of these she's accusing other people of, with kahit na halatang may carnal knowledge siya of what transpired, to which she said, kinukwento lang daw ito ng mga tao sa paligid niya. It seems like Duterte's power is crumbling right before our eyes. Maraming tumitiwalag sa kanya, turning their heads against the former President Rodrigo Duterte. I mean, how the mighty have fallen, ika nga. I've already talked about this for quite a while, especially in the past year. Tignan nyo na lang yung mga related NIDW mini-major tidbit tulad ng paglaya ni dating Senador Lala de Lima at maraming pang iba, because you will get a clearer and fuller picture of what actually transpired, lalo na sa labanan ni dating Senator Lala de Lima at former President Rodrigo Duterte. Bongo, Dela Rosa, sinagot si Garma. Sinagot ni na Senator at re-electionist dating Presidential Assistant Bongo at dating PNP Chief Ronald Bato Dela Rosa ang mga paratang ni dating Police Colonel Garma, saying na everything she said are unsubstantiated claims at pawang kasinungalingan. Sinabi ni Senator Ronald Bato Dela Rosa na wala raw siyang pondo para sa mga reward na ina-allege ni dating Police Colonel Garma, where she alleged tier-based reward system including the funding of the entire operation and reward per kill level ranging from a few dozen thousands to a few million pesos, or no, to a million pesos.
During our meeting, he requested that I locate a PNP officer or operative who is a member of the Iglesia ni Cristo, indicating that he needed someone capable of implementing the war on drugs on a national scale, replicating the Davao model. The Davao model referred to the system involving payment and rewards. The Davao model involves 3 levels of payments of rewards. The first is the reward if the suspect is killed. Second is the funding of planned operations. Third is the refund of operational expenses.
Sinabi niyang wala siyang alam sa reward system na sinasabi ni Garma noong siya ay PNP chief, at ang mga reward system na kanyang nalalaman ay patungkol sa mga most wanted na tao approved by the DILG, kasama pa yung I think yung ano ni Bongo na reward something. Ang sabi naman ni Senator Bongo, taktika lamang ito ni Garma para mapalayo ang interes ng mga tao sa mga isyong ikinakarap nito patungkol sa isang alleged murder plot kung saan siya ay nakasangkot sa pagkitil ng isang PCSO official. Sagot naman ni former presidential spokesperson Salvador Panelo na ipine-pressure lang daw si Garma, kaya niya dinawit si Duterte sa mga substantiated at pawang kasinungalingan. He even said na hindi pa presidente si Duterte noong May 2016. So bakit mo agad siya sinasabi na, which is kind of a weird response, like, so sure, president-elect siya, hindi siya presidente, but that doesn't mean that it did not happen. And even Garma in her affidavit actually addressed the fact na bago i-sworn in si Duterte called her up para maghanap ng isang police chief na makakapag-implement ng Davao-style war on drugs. So, that's a weird thing to say. Yun lang ang sinizero in mo as the main objectionable thing sa affidavit na inilabas ni Garma. Nagsalita si Garma kasunod ang pag-aamin ni Kerwin Espinosa, a self-confessed drug lord na pinwersa lang siya ni Senator Dela Rosa, the then PNP chief, para idiin si Senator Lala de Lima with bogus at unfounded drug charges, of which all 3 were dropped.
Matay na kaming lahat. Si General Bato nasa front seat, ako ay nasa likod. Pinagitnaan ako ng 2 mga pulis. At sinabihan niya ako na aminin mo na sangkot ka sa kalakaran sa droga dito sa Pilipinas. At idawit ko si Peter Lim. Idawit ko si Peter Lim at si Laila de Lima para madiin na sila. Kapag hindi raw ako sumunod sa plano, pwedeng mangyari sa akin ang nangyari sa ama ko o isa sa mga pamilya ko ang mamatay din. So, nanginig ako sa panahon na yon. Hindi ko alam kung ano ang aking gagawin. Yan po ay totoo. Hindi gawa-gawa to.
Nagpaplano ngayon si Senator Bato Dela Rosa, Chair of the Senate Public Order and Dangerous Drugs Committee, pati si Senator Bongo, which is the chairperson of Finance or something, na gumawa ng isang hearing sa Senado with him leading the investigation in conjunction sa Quadcom na bumabahid sa kanyang pangalan, sa kanyang party mate at sa kanyang dating boss na si dating Presidente Rodrigo Duterte.
Kung kakailanganin po para magkaroon tayo ng parallel investigation dito sa Senado para malaman po natin ng katotohanan, I'm very much willing na mag-file din po ng resolution para magkaroon po ng investigation rin po dito sa Senado.
Which of course, umani siya ng mga batikos dahil, to be fair, siya ay implicated in said House of Representatives Committee investigation. Tapos, gagawa ka ng Senate investigation trying to undermine the work done by the Quadcom, implicating you as prime resource person at accused suspect of human rights abuses. You know, because you are the, what they call as the executioner of Duterte's war on drugs. Or if not, then a vital component to said drug war. Si Senate President Jesus Cordero nga, sinabi rin na it would not be wise for either of the two, Bato de Rosa and Bongo, to lead the investigation on the war on drugs kasi napakalapit nyo kay Presidente Duterte before and after his term.
Well, haharapin namin yan sa susunod ng mga araw. Kukonsultahin ko ang ibang mga miyembro. Pero nakausap ko na si Senator Bato kaugnay niyan. At ang sinabi ko sa kanya, anumang investigasyon na nais niya patungkol sa kanya mismo. At kay Senator Go, mas maganda siguro kung hindi sila mismo ang mauna ng komiteng yun. Para walang aligasyon na ito'y personal at hindi impartial at hindi fair.
Ang sabi rin ni Senator Bongo, huwag sana nating paniwalaan itong dating police colonel na may kinakaharap na akusasyon regarding an alleged murder plot na tila gustong ibaling ang atensyon ng publiko from her alleged involvement in the gruesome murder sa sensationalized drug on war probe. Huwag rin daw nating hayaang mawala ang progress na pinaghirapan ng Administrasyong Duterte kontra droga na kumitil ng sangkatutak na human rights abuses at extrajudicial killings ng oplang tukhang ng gobyerno. It seems like Duterte's power is crumbling right before our eyes. Maraming tumitiwalag sa kanya, turning their heads against former President Rodrigo Duterte. I mean, how the mighty have fallen. Now, I've already talked about this for quite a while, especially the past year. Tignan nyo na lamang yung mga related NIDW mini-major tidbits tulad ng paglaya ni dating Senador Lala de Lima at marami pang iba. Here are some more page news for your convenience. Godfather kuno ng POGO, Natimbog. POGO Godfather kuno dahil sa dinami-raming POGO hubs ni Chinese citizen Liu Dong sa Manila galing Fujian, China in possession of a Chinese passport using multiple aliases. Ang sabi ng POCC o Presidential Anti-Organized Crime Commission to the Office of the President na dumating si then 44-year-old probably, Liu Dong sa Pilipinas noong 2016 to establish, 34-year-old probably, Liu Dong sa Pilipinas noong 2016 to establish networks of scam operations or scam farms sa 5 rehiyon/province with ties sa POGO firm Lucky South 99 sa Porac, Pampanga with connections to Cassandra Leong at Alice Liel Guo aka Guo Waping, which is what she was probably referring to, who she's probably referring to. Meron daw siyang ilang operasyon sa Ilocos Region, Calabar Zone, Central Visayas at Metro Manila. Senator Villanueva celebrated the arrest of the so-called POGO Godfathers but said also na hindi pa tapos ang trabaho at marami pang gagawin ang POCC para madismantle ang lakas at integrasyon ng POGO hubs sa bansa. At yun ang pagtatapos ng News I Deem Worthy Recap Weekly Edition for roughly the 3rd week of October 2024. Mag-suggest some more topics and our corrections to the balitas if you feel I misrepresented them in any way. Sana mas panonood mga kabayang of War Meal, like, subscribe, follow my links sa socials and avoid choose if will be linked down below. So susunod, of course, paalam. Did you guys hear what Sara Duterte said na, I think, I didn't want to include it in this video kasi baka wala akong content next week. So, I did not include it, pero basically what she said was na tumawag si Senator Amy Marcos kay dating mayor ng Davao na si Vice President Sara Duterte na, sana sumama ka sa coalition namin. Tatawagin natin itong unity kasi baka matalo kami ni Leni Robredo. So that's a bombshell of a drop. Lalo na, I think si Amy Marcos ay parang still in the middle or was still in the middle of it all. Kumbaga parang kaibigan niya pa rin si Sara Duterte. And she's trying to distance herself to former president, to President BBM. Kasi nga, sinama siya sa senatorial slate ito, of which she politely declined. Kasi sinasabi niya nga na meron siyang mga kaibigan na baka, ayaw niyang malagay sa alanganin si BBM. And meron siyang mga kaibigan na baka masaktan sa pagtanggap niya ng nominasyon ng senatorial slate ng administrasyong Marcos. So that's kind of a bombshell na parang dinrap mo pa yung name ni Amy. Siya na nga lang ang pumaprotekta sa iyo. But, whatever she is, I've barely seen her in the spotlight for like a few weeks now. So I guess it's nice to see her doing what she always does. Trying to fuck up whatever opportunities at connections she has. Kasi nagwawala siya. So, whatever.